Being feminine, nurturing, and taking care of their husbands and kids is not because they're being manipulated or taken advantage of. That is what women should be. To be feminine and nurturing, take care of their family, while the husband protects, leads, and provides. I just have a message for all the people who are coming here to find a partner. There is just one thing that I want to emphasize. Do not bring your dating habits or dating culture to the Philippines, because you will be influencing and teaching women here to be women you are running from.
Nowadays, there's no courting, there's no getting to know one another. All people want to do nowadays is meet up.
Hookup culture has become very toxic.
Because hookup culture benefits guys more than it will ever benefit girls. Guys mainly just want sex. They rarely want commitment, but will do practically anything to get laid.
Are we done pretending like that's empowering or even healthy?
Just like the hookup culture. As much as it pains me to admit it, this has been happening here for a few years already. I won't deny that. You can expect the women here to be really westernized in the next 20 years. Filipino dating is gradually changing, becoming more modern, especially in the touristic areas and in the big cities. For your information, our dating culture is more straight, not like in the West where you can go out and date and sleep with different people and got options.
It is not unexpected that guys are taking flights overseas to date women. When women in the West frequently criticize men because they don't respect or even like their spouses and partners, I can't say that I blame the guys for wanting to become passport bros and go to other nations. These guys have fled their own countries in search of a partner who will live up to their aspirations and not undervalue them. If you give womanism some thought, you could start to wonder if it is the consequence of indoctrination or if it is something that women have genuinely always desired in secret but have been unable to accomplish on their own for hundreds of years. Women today seldom show the slightest appreciation for men. They believe that their female status automatically grants or allows them a certain level of respect by default. Where's the equality in that? Do they grant the same respect to men? I don't remember the last time I did something kind for a woman, and she thanked me. I've always told men to go the roads less traveled. Either celebrate your individuality or find a way to blend in when it's essential. I'm curious to know if American women, specifically white middle-class women, have developed a similar attitude toward experimenting with different races over time as American males. And in the case of the video, you just saw in the beginning, more and more Western men are looking for their partners in places such as the Philippines. Why? Because women over there are a lot more traditional and a lot more feminine. They're more in tune and in line with their natural feminine selves and act as nurturers and caregivers for their husbands and their children. They believe in men being men as the providers, protectors, and leaders, while believing in themselves being independent in their own right to provide love, warmth, and care for their families. Western society has male and female roles all messed up. A Western woman for no good reason believes that staying at being a homemaker, a care provider, and a nurturer for her husband and family, and doing it as a duty to them is somehow her being oppressed. I believe the blame for that goes to feminism or the extreme forms of it which want women to take over men's roles in society. It's as the woman in the video said so herself. Being feminine, nurturing, and taking care of their husbands and kids is not because they're being manipulated or taken advantage of. That is what women should be. To be feminine and nurturing, taking care of their family while the husband protects, leads, and provides. I just have a message for all the people who are coming here to find a partner. There is just one thing that I want to emphasize. Do not bring your dating habits or culture to the Philippines, because you will be influencing and teaching women here to be women you are running from in the West. Nowadays, there's no courting, there's no getting to know one another. All people want to do nowadays is meet up and have meaningless intimacy. Hookup culture has become very toxic because hookup culture benefits guys more than it will ever help girls. Guys mainly just want physical intimacy. They rarely want commitment, but will do practically anything to get laid. Are we done pretending like that's empowering or even healthy, just like the hookup culture? The woman also says that as much as it pains her to admit it, This has been happening here for a few years already. Filipino dating is gradually changing and becoming more modern, especially in tourist areas and big cities. For your information, their dating culture is traditional, not like in the West where you can go out and date and sleep with different people and have multiple options all the time. It's now common information that Western men are looking for submissive and more feminine women in the East. Is this due to the fact that more and more American women are seeking out stereotypical bad boys to fill the gaps left by American men? Is white women's interest in interracial adult entertainment real or just a made-up myth? Also, does explicit information mislead men or women in its intended direction? I contend that Western men favor women who are subservient. If my estimation is accurate, however, American women are now drawn to more dominating alpha guys. As women never want to accept or admit their truth on their own, it's always amusing to expose them to it. Now, men are traveling to the East in pursuit of attractive women. Moreover, bear in mind that Thailand has very few obese women. Even ladyboys are prettier than Western women. You should now have all the information you require. Women will find such men attractive because even a partially feminized male from the West will likely appear more manly than many Asian men there. It's easy to understand why guys visit these locations when you take into account their financial situation and resources. It is also true that Eastern women are looking to date Western men. I recently read about Thai women who believe that the more Western guys they date, the greater the likelihood that they will become romantically linked with them and eventually emigrate to the United States, the United Kingdom, or Canada with them. Strangely enough, when such women travel to a Western nation, they only become aware of the different game that is being played there. When they notice that Western women are not subservient, they often feel pressure from their peers to emulate them, which is why their white Western boyfriends decide to break up with them. Another issue that I want to touch on is how being submissive is equated to being oppressed in the West. Western society needs that if an Eastern woman is being submissive, it's because, to her, that's the highest form of respect she can show to her husband. It means she agrees on two things and will hold the man accountable for them as well. One is that the man will provide for her, care for her, not disrespect her, and will look after her physical and emotional needs. Two, that she will take care of his needs in return, physical and emotional, and the upbringing of his children in the best possible way. It's an understanding that has always been present in Eastern countries and something that has always been deliberately misunderstood by the West. So when you hear about a woman being submissive in the West, people lose their minds and call it oppression, when in fact, it is a woman who's agreeing to specific values expected from her and what she expects from her man. Another thing that Western society gets wrong about Eastern culture is that since the woman is submissive, the man must be a tyrant and oppressive. That is absolutely incorrect. If a woman is being submissive, believe me, she's only being submissive because her man makes sure he provides for her, gets her the food she wants, makes sure she has money in her bank account, makes sure she has everything she needs to go about her day, including a car, and that she always has help around the house. It's a huge responsibility that Eastern men take on. Frankly speaking, Eastern women agree to be submissive to Western men because they know the Western man can actually afford her being submissive because having a submissive Eastern woman isn't free. She does that because it creates the perfect balance between a man and a woman. He leads, she nurtures, he protects, she gives love and warmth. And honestly, that is what an empowered woman really is like. I think the West still has a lot to learn from the East, but will only do so if it gets off its high horse. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. And let us know your thoughts on this in the comments. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.